Good evening. It's July 5th and it is Make It Monday. Tonight, I'm so excited to share with you some of the projects that we'll be doing in class this month. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to hop on while I check to see if we are streaming. I know that it's probably still a holiday for some of you. Um, who my husband had off today.
July 5th.
And there we go.
Tonight.
Okay. So, hey, Debbie. Good to see you here. I was working in my bedroom today. I bought some. Hi, Talara. Hi, Melanie. I was working to reorganize my bedroom today. So, it's almost done. I got all my wash done. Well, almost all my wash done. But, anyways, and then I was flying around to get everything ready for this, and hopefully I got everything. I have everything ready for class, so I was hoping that I had it all together, but we'll see. Always something I seem to forget. All right, so I'm going to go. I have a lot to show you tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and everybody that jumps on late will just have to go back and see the beginning. Okay, let me get over to my correct screen here. First of all, there's a couple things I want to remind you guys about, and that is that our designer series paper sale is this month, and that's the main thing, I guess. The other thing is that the projects that you're going to see tonight, you will be able to come to class to do, or if you are too far away to come to class, you can place an order online and get the projects for free. So ways you can enjoy these projects. All right, so let me flip over to my other camera, and I just want to, whoops, didn't go. Okay, so I just wanted to show you there are 9 different designer papers that are on sale this month, and they're all in the annual catalog, of course. So be sure and check those out. They are 15% off, so it's not like a buy 3 get 1 free as we've had in the past. And yeah, I've already taken advantage of it once, and I probably will again before it's over, because I do love these papers. I will try to. Stampin' Up! Did a special event with demonstrators, and we made in 1 hour or so, we made like, I don't know, 12 or so cards from 5 sheets of designer paper. And so that was pretty cool. So I'll either just post those cards and maybe the way to cut them, or we'll see what happens. But just I want to sort of give you ideas this month on ways to use designer paper, because I think a lot of people like the paper, but they tend to not use it. Okay, so there's that. And then I just wanted to let you know that I do have the mini catalog, the holiday mini catalog, and the celebration catalog. I have ordered yours, and I will be putting those in the mail as soon as they come. Okay, the first project that I'm going to show you is probably the easiest one. Hi, Laura. Good to have all you guys here. But this one is specifically designed so that we could use the designer paper, one of the ones that's on sale. This is the peach one. And I specifically didn't want to use the peach side because I wanted to use the stamp set. So, so let me show you how to do that. Let's set that aside. We are going to use our cutter, just because I typically like to score with my scoring tool, but I also need to do some cutting on another project, so I have this tonight. So you have a piece that's 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to put that in long ways, and you're going to score it at 2, let me think, 5 1/2, and what's half of 5 1/2? 2 1/4, right? I have to think. So 2 1/4 and 5 1/2. So just, that's not right. It's 2 3/4. What am I thinking? Wow, Cindy, do the math. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, let me just put that aside for a second. Obviously, I didn't do well in that. And so this front piece will get folded back. This will mostly get covered. Sometimes when I screw up, I'll take my bone folder and just rub over that a little bit so that it goes away. and it's only going to show on the very edges there. Okay, so we're going to use our designer paper, and let me just show you. You'll see that the other sides have designs on them, and we're not going to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down. Thank you, Debbie. It's always fun to, I do copy a lot, and I encourage you guys to do that as well. But sometimes you want to show something specific, and I really wanted to show the stamp set because I love it, and I really wanted to show you the paper. So I had to come up with my own this time. All right, so the stamp set that I'm using is this one, Flowers of Friendship, and it is a bundle, so it comes with a punch. I feel like my lighting is not fabulous here. So it comes with a punch. And then I'm also using Happiest of Birthdays because I wanted a very large greeting and I like how big these are. So I'm using that. So first I'm going to use this long piece right here. And I'm going to stamp a little border here around the edge. And I'm going to just pull a piece of scrap paper in here because I will be stamping off the edge just a little bit. Actually, I think I did it so that I don't have to do that. I think that I stamped this one right on this edge. This one right on this edge. Oh, I didn't stamp that fully. Ugh. Hate when I do that. Oh well. I already glued everything down, so that's going to have to... See, I should be using my Stamparatus, right? All right. How to fix that mess? Let me see if this comes off. Yeah, I hate to waste designer paper on a card that I would never send anybody. And shh, don't tell anybody I said that. I always try to teach you that you can fix your mistakes. In this case, it's the very front of my card. So, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And then I will, let's go ahead and stick this back on. And I hope to do better. Thanks, Laura, even though I screwed it up royally, right? All right. Let's try again. Everybody say a prayer for me. This is the one I had trouble with, and that one should have been the easiest because it was closest to me, right? This one goes here. And I'm going to turn this one so that I can... Okay. There, I messed that up again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not touching that. I will come back with a marker and fix that little baby. Okay, I am using brown for everything on this card, so I'm not going to put that away. So this is going to fold here. Now, the other thing that I considered was putting a piece of white inside here so that you knew exactly where you wanted to sign your card. So I did cut enough for that, so you'll have two pieces of white. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me set that aside for a second, and let's stamp our flowers. So I have 3 different scraps here. I want the large flower on my pale papaya, so I'm going to stamp that here. And then I want 2 small flowers. I want one in Calypso Coral and one on white. Okay, so now I can stick my punch in here. They're actually really staying wet, so I'm going to just set those aside for a second. I'm afraid I'm going to smear them. Let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. And I'm happy. I mean, the stamps are just really perfectly inked. Not too much, not too little, but look how gorgeous that comes out. It is so, what's sharp? Sharp is the word I wanted to say. Okay, I think I'm finished with my stamping. So let me just, I'm going to just scoot this out here. I will wash these later because like I said, I have so much to show you tonight. I don't want to take too much time. All right, we're going to slide this one into where the small flower goes. And as far as I can figure, there's not a particular place where this works best. So I'm not going to try to turn it or line it up a different way. I'll be able to put one more flower on that one. And then this is our large one. And oops, I stamped that wrong. I forgot that that one's stamped like a plus sign. So I'll have to remember to remind everybody when they stamp theirs. I'm on the corner, so fortunately I'm able to do that without too much trouble. Okay, and then last but not least is the little white one. So I did a couple of these, played with them till I figured out the combination that I wanted, and I really liked the white one with it. I didn't like repeating any of the other colors, so that's how that came about. All right, let me just get rid of that. All right, so now we're ready to put everything together. So I have the piece for inside. I don't know if you noticed here, but I wanted to put orange behind here, but I felt like orange was just, well, I'm saying orange, but I mean Calypso. I felt like it was just going to get lost on here, so I decided just to add it right here, only where it was going to show on the gray granite. And I did forget to tell you that this color was gray granite. Okay, so we'll have our happy birthday. Let's go ahead and glue that down to our chocolate chip. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Early espresso. And I like this way better than chocolate chip, by the way, just in case you think that I was missing chocolate chip. I'm not at all. Okay, so now I'm going to add some, I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive the whole way around because I'm going to put this in place. Actually, I'm going to put this on first. I cut mine to size where I wanted it, but for class, everybody's going to be already done. So I will go ahead and put that on there, and that will determine where I place it here. Okay, so I'm going to put just a tiny bit of adhesive on the edge of that so that that sticks to the gray. And now I can just line those two up. So the only place we have glue is right here. Okay, and now we're ready for some dimensionals, and I dimensional just the pale papaya one, the large one, and that one's going to go here in the corner. And then I just put adhesive on the other two because I wanted them to look like they were at a different angle than the main one. Did you guys all have a good July 4th? We had fun. We were at my son and his family the whole day. Even Joel's parents were there all day. They don't get out much, so it was a long day for them. But it was really fun. Brianna brought some fireworks. Let me get my take your pick tool here. And I'm going to use champagne gems on 2 of these. But there was a, whoops, did I lose it? Uh-oh, I lost it. Don't stick there, no. Come back here. But I wanted to use our square, I have to read it because I can't remember what they're called. I like the champagne, they're so bright and shiny and gorgeous. But I wanted to use the 2020 to 2022 in color square gems. Now these are brand new, but they are with the old in colors, not old, but the previous in colors, not the ones that, well, Yeah, it says 2020, but that looks like pale papaya. I don't know. I'm confused. What color is this, guys? Okay, so that's the one I'm using. Um, it looks like my putty needs to be changed, but these are a little bit stronger. I am trying to cover up all of the circle from that flower, and it's a little difficult to do, but I think I did it. Okay. So yeah, these are all previous in colors. I just can't think what that color is. So can you guys tell me? Okay, Debbie, you had church and then dinner with your God family. Um, we actually, our church is closed down right now because we have to update our handicap stuff, and it's so much work. And so they just Bumblebee. Okay, thank you, Karen. It and Melanie. It just doesn't look like Bumblebee to me. It's so pale papaya-ish. So I couldn't even remember Bumblebee. Okay, thank you. You guys should get a prize. But yeah, so we went to my daughter's church yesterday, so we had a new experience. So. All right. The last but not least is putting the white piece in here. And I'm going to just lay this down here to give myself an idea where that should be. And then I will center it. Before I press it down, I'll double check to make sure that's a good place. All right. So that's only just to be helpful so that you know that you don't write outside of here, because I think that would sort of take away from the card if your writing was there. And if you need more room, then you could write on the back where you made your mistake. Oh my guys. Well, at least you know that I screw up. Not that you didn't know that already. Okay, next project. I'm going to show you this card. Whoops, I gotta stay in camera here. I zoomed it in so that you could see, and then I forget where my hands are going. What I did originally was I took our stitch rectangle dies and laid them out and made this template, and that's how I did this card. But guess what? We have a die in the catalog that does all of that for you, and I really struggled to get them nice and straight. I did like 2 different ones and I still was not terribly happy. So I did splurge, broke down and bought this die set, which is called Picture This. I really wanted this one anyways. So this is going to make my work so much easier. So I'm excited about that. But I haven't used it yet. I die cut it, and tonight's going to be the first time that I use that. So we are going to be using a bunch of colors. We're going to be using our blending brushes. So the colors that I have, and you know, when I make these cards, I don't write down my colors like I should. So I'm using, hopefully these are the colors that I use: Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz, So Saffron, and Pumpkin Pie are the 3 colors we're going to use. And I only have 3 blending brushes, so we are, but that's okay. It's not a problem. All right, and I did have pieces laid out. These are the pieces. My base card is Old Olive. I'm going to set that aside for now. I have the black background. I have my little die cut pieces from Quiet Meadow, and then I have the white piece that I'm going to be working on. This is my stencil, and then we're going to have a Pool Party piece and some ribbon. So Quiet Meadow is the stamp set that I'm using, and the dies that go with that are just stunningly gorgeous. And I'm excited. Excuse me, there's another set coming out in the holiday catalog that has more of these flowers. It has a cornflower, and I just love it. Okay, so my white piece, I do want to make sure this is on here straight. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put a little bit of painter's tape on here. I wanted my stencil to cover the white because I didn't want to accidentally get ink on the edge of my card. So I made sure that I cut it out of a piece that was larger. It doesn't want to pull off my scrap paper. Okay, there we go. I didn't need quite that much painter's tape, did I? But that's okay. All right, need that for the next card too. Okay, so let's start at the top. Let's start with Pool Party. And let me use this one. I always check it on my scrap paper first. That seems a little bit greenish. I thought that I cleaned that one, but let me just clean it just in case I forgot to clean that one. I'm going to use green, but I want it to be pale first. So, and I took a Norwex Talara, you'll love this. I took a Norwex EnviroCloth because I love how they just have a really great weave, really tight weave of microfiber. Plus they have silver in them that cleans things. And I don't want these to get like mold or anything in them. So I have it just a little bit damp, and then I have a dry spot on it so that I can dry that off. Okay. Yeah, Debbie, they are not noticeable in the catalog because they are not featured with a bundle. There's several things like that. So you really want to go back, and I'm still not happy with how green that looks. I'm going to use this one because, yeah, that looks more blue. I must have used that with a really dark green or something. Yes, so there's several things in the catalog that are really very hidden. And so it's sort of like a scavenger hunt, trying to make sure you don't miss anything. Now, it's hard to see this color going down. So if you have to, just lift this so that you can see how much color you have. Now, I want this Pool Party pretty bright because I know from this green that my green is going to be very bright. And I definitely want to get these corners good. But I also want the colors to blend in the middle here. All right, so there's Pool Party. I'm going to leave that there because I might want to add some more. And we'll do the Pear Pizzazz, which already is on here. And I'm going to pull that down into this one a little bit. Just want a little bit of that at the top. And I do definitely, like I said, I want to blend these. I want them to look like they're going from one end to the other. Definitely want to get this edge here good. And this edge. All right, let's do some more Pool Party here. Okay, let's go to So Saffron. And I'm just going to, whoops, I just grabbed a dimensional there. Just going to check that to see, yeah, that's got some pink on it. I do want to order some more brushes so that I can keep some for later colors. Because I don't like to completely wet them. Still a little pink, isn't it? I don't think it's going to look terrible on our project though. So see how worried I am about that. I'm hoping that I haven't cleaned my cloth lately, so hope I'm not transferring color from that onto my brush. All right, that's pretty strong, so that should be good. And I'm going to, of course, we're just using 4 colors, so 1, 2, 3, and then yellow and orange are going to be here, the middle and bottom. Okay. Debbie, don't show anything else you haven't seen. Okay, I'll try not. All right, I'm going to come back in here and just put a little more green in here and blend those together. Okay, let's go to the orange. I want to make sure that I have plenty of yellow on here though, because once I use this for orange, then it's going to be a little more work trying to get that cleaned off. So, ooh, that's bright. Whew, might be a little more than I bargained for. Okay, that didn't take much work to do that color, did it? All right, let me just take one side off and make sure that it looks like I want it to look. Yeah, that looks really good. And let me just get rid of these. So, Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz, So Saffron, and then Pumpkin Pie. All right, let's go ahead and remove our painter's tape. Uh-oh, sticking pretty good to that basic white. It's on the back, so I don't care if it tears a little bit, but all right. So now we got to do a little bit of just a tiny bit of stamping. Most of it is just the background. And I'm using the little speckles from the Quiet Meadow stamp set. And I just threw a little bit on here. And then I put a little bit up on this side. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the die has stitches in it. It has a dot and a dash. Really cute. And it actually comes through here, and so you actually see some of that design around your rectangles. I like that. I think that's cool. All right, now I'm going to use the saying from the set, Thinking of You, on, now this one is made from, oh, that didn't turn out very good. I think I need to re-ink my stamp. Let's see if the other side is okay. I think I can use it. I did use the rectangle dies, stitch dies, to cut this piece instead of running this through a couple times, and it would have been longer. So yeah, I did use that for this. All right, yes, I love these dot stamps. Okay, we are ready to put this together. Let me go ahead and glue this down. And that's going to go on our black piece. So I have the black cut, I think, at 5 1/4 by 4. So then the white would be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. If I have that right, yeah. So this is just the background basically for our black pieces of flowers that are going to stand in silhouette against this backdrop. So they're just going to go here, here, and I did bring them off the edge, which I should have probably done before I put the piece together. I'm going to show you gluing down just one piece, and then I'll just finish, like, show you the rest, because I think most of you know how to put this together. You just want to be able to see the glue, guys. There, I got just a little too much. I don't want it running out and making a mess on my card. So and then I'm going to leave it down here, and then I'll snip that off. Those will get glued there. This will get popped up here with dimensionals. And then this gorgeous Pool Party organdy ribbon, I cannot get enough of. In fact, I think I'm using it for my Stamps in the Mail special class, as well as this class this month. I just want to use it all the time. Now, last but not least, the thing that this card needed was this, the Artistry Blooms sequins. They have adhesive backing on them, and they are just gorgeous. They're really easy to pop off and stick on your project. You can use your hands or your pokey or your take your pick tool. And I just think they make the project. There's also blue ones which will go with our pool party. So we'll stick one of those on here. I hope you like that. I just think that, I think those make the card. I think it would have been boring without that. Anyways, I had fun with that card. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me set that aside. Trying not to make them totally disorganized in this mess I'm making on my table here. Actually, it's a bed. All right, this project is, thank you guys. All right, this is the messy one. I'll show you the card first. So this is alcohol on vellum, this background. And I'm using the Beauty of Friendship stamps and dies, the trees. Okay, so I'm using that. And I'm using Pool Party. Actually, I didn't want Pool Party, probably. I think I wanted Just Jade, and that's not going to show up enough. So I might run out and grab that. My background paper is mint macaron, and I'm also highlighting these gorgeous things. They come, you can get a whole pack of them. You can color them or sponge them if you want them a different color, but they're this beautiful crafty looking brown. So I wanted to highlight that. Plus I wanted to highlight the tree set. And I wanted to use this to do this design. So while I'm running to get those other two markers, I want to see some comments when I get back. I want you guys to tell me what your favorite product in the new catalog is, in the annual catalog. Okay, go. All right, so I guess I beat the computer getting back here. I grabbed a couple different colors because I wasn't sure which one I wanted. Sylvia, you're still looking at the catalog. Okay, you're still dreaming of your next favorite project. Okay, Karen, favorite product just might be the pastels. Okay, good. I'm excited. To Larry, you haven't had time to look. Oh, I'm sad for you. Okay. All right, so what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a piece of, oh, I know something I forgot, but that's okay. We're going to start with a plain piece of vellum, and I'm actually going to tape it down to this piece of cardboard because with this technique, I found that it really wants to curl, and I really don't want it to because then the colors run a little bit. Oh, the Christmas okay, Laura, you're talking about the new Christmas catalog. Okay, yes, they are very cute. Beauty of the Earth Suite. Okay, good. Hey, Tina, welcome. All right, so I think that I'm going to grab, I want it to be dark, so I'm going to use Just Jade, even though my paper is mint macaron. When we do this technique, the colors will mute a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take my brush tip and I'm just going to add spots of color to my vellum. And this is our cardstock vellum. And I can fill in a little more color there later if I need to. And you can do this with one color. You can do it with 3 colors. There's certainly no hard and fast rule about how much color you put on here. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of the lighter Just Jade although I don't think that it really will make too much difference between the dark one. Okay, so once I have the color on there, I'm going to take, oh, seriously, Cindy? I forgot my spray bottle. I had it in my stuff to bring in here, but it must have got set aside. So I'm using 91% alcohol. Now, a lot of what we used to have, I think, was 70%. You like it just like it is. Yeah, that is a cool look. But just wait till you see the really cool look when you spray it with alcohol. And I really do want to show you that. So I probably will grab that. I set it out on my counter, but I was carrying so much stuff that I probably just missed carrying it. But there's a couple ways you can do this, and I do want to show you. I did bring something else to show you another technique. Let me go ahead and show you that, and then you'll see how I did this here. And I just sprayed it with alcohol. And this is another technique, and this is what it looked like when I was finished. Okay, so I had it, like I said, because those edges wanted to turn up, it was running everywhere, but it gives you a really cool look. And this is another one that I've already put adhesive on the background, which is what we're going to do. We're going to adhere it to a piece of white cardstock. And then we're going to run it through the embossing folder. So a lot of steps to this, but I think a really cool look when you're finished. I'm going to go ahead and show this technique since I didn't bring that in with me. But if you take, this is alcohol, if you just take it and put drops on it, I showed my demonstrators a card, I think, that I had done this with. Actually, I might not have shown anybody that. I might have only shown the girls that were here. So I want a lot of alcohol, but I want it to be in drops on this card, in this effect. And then I'm going to heat set that because I want to show you how you can add another layer to that then. So you could just leave it sit and dry, but because I want to show you the next step, I'm going to just turn this heat gun on low and just I'm trying not to blow it around. I want it to stay where it's at, but sorry, I sort of spewed I know this is really loud because I'm holding it right where the mic is, but it's blowing a little bit, but fortunately, alcohol dries pretty fast too, so. Yes, the vellum curls, which is why I have it taped down, but it's still trying to curl. Okay. Your daughter does that with the pastels, okay? Melanie, your favorite is the welcoming window. Okay, that is a wonderful set. I have so many more cards I want to make with that set. Okay, that does for the most. I think I want to stick another piece or two of tape on here because what I want to do next, I really don't want to run. And I cut this paper a little bigger than I need it for my card, and then I'm just going to trim down the edges so that, yeah. Okay, so the next thing that you can do then is you can actually take your brush and dip it in and get little spatters on here. And this will keep reacting. See the little circles it's making? Isn't that cool? I want some right there. So you can make several levels of it, which just gives it more character. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the card that I made with that technique, but I only used one color. I think I used the dark, just jade, I believe is what I used for it. And I had some leftover pieces, let me set that aside, from on my table from doing this fish set for my team event. And so I wanted to play with it. So this little background that you see here was done like I just showed you. But like I said, I only put one color on the card, and then I just dropped all those dots of alcohol on it and came up with that creation. Okay? And then on the fish, I actually sponged some color on it, and then I took my Wink of Stella and just went over. I'm trying to get to an angle where you can see the shimmer on it. And this little piece of coral was cut out from our bicolored ombre shimmer paper. And I just cut it into little pieces and put it, it's one piece, but I cut it just, it's pretty big, and I didn't want anything quite that big with my fish. So, and this is those layering diorama dies. And I just had a piece left from that because of the projects that we did. So thank you. I do think that turned out really cute. All right, guys, I know you want to see how to do this other piece. So give me a second. I'm going to grab that spray because I want you to see the difference in spraying the alcohol on. I tried not to trip over anything in my jaunt because I have boxes sitting everywhere from moving stuff out of my room, and Tosh was moving stuff out of her room, and okay, so where's the piece that we did? Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Okay, I laid it up here somewhere. I need somebody here to keep me organized, guys. Seriously. All right, I'm in this tiny room. It couldn't have gone far, right? That is just really crazy. Okay, I'm losing it. There's the card. Oh, that's right. We already did it. Yes, it does look like beach pebbles. Okay, I'm totally losing it. We already did it, so I have to do another piece. Let me grab one here. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go back and add some markers, and I'm just going to use the dark of both. Doesn't take long to throw this on here. I do want plenty on though. Put a little more green on there. So I had heard about the alcohol technique, and I didn't really know what they were doing with it. And so this was my version before I actually got to watch what they were doing with it. So then I tried that other one that I just showed you. And I like both of them. So I stuck with this one for this card because I really like how it turns out. And let me go ahead and take that down. Okay, now we're just ready. I have alcohol in this big bottle here. Just because I use, when I'm using this technique and I need it for class, I need a lot of it. So I didn't put it in our little spritzers. All right, so now you can just watch that color puddle up. And it just keeps reacting. You remember when we used to do the polished stone? We put some gold in there and the gold reacted with the alcohol and made little puddles. And this is sort of like that paper, the expressions, artistic expressions or whatever, looks a lot like this with the little puddles, the little circles of color, and the gold flecks interacting with it. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And then I'm going to show you by the magic of television. And I love how those circles are staying there, which is very different from what you're seeing here because only because I didn't put as much alcohol on it. So you're still getting those nice circles, and I think that is fine. So we're going to leave it like that. It's going to continue changing until it dries, because I'm not going to heat that one dry. The next thing that I did was I took a piece of our adhesive sheet, and I think that there is a thing in the back that where you can, there it is. I'm looking at the wrong side. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to stick it on the back of this. And then I'm going to take my cutter, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that down. I'll be able to line this up hopefully on the edge of the adhesive. And trim that. Oops. Sticking a little bit to everything. Okay. Now I will make sure that's pressed on there good. Get rid of this junk here. And now I can peel the back off of that. I really like our new adhesive sheets. When we had the Sizzix ones, I did not like them much at all, as you guys probably know. But I really do like these. I love putting them on before I run something through the die cut, and it works perfectly. Okay, now I'm going to add that to a piece of white cardstock. Try to line that up good. And what that does, first of all, it brings more whiteness to it, but it also makes it takes it from this flimsy looking piece and curling piece. You can see here, this one just has the adhesive on it. And then when I put it on my white cardstock, it makes it nice and firm. Now that one's going to get run through the embossing folder, that whole piece, all those 3 layers. And when it comes out, you're going to see, I ran it through the embossing paste one. Okay, what's going on? Hopefully Facebook didn't decide that I'm too big-winded tonight, long-winded. 71%, or I'm sorry, 91%, Barbara, 91% proof alcohol. So I used that embossing folder for the whole piece, and then I cut a piece off of it, and because I just wanted this piece only fit here because of the size of it. Okay, so I laid that on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that because I can still run it through the embossing folder. I'm not going to do that just because it's getting too long here, because I think you can see on that piece how nice that looks. And there we go. So then what I did was I wove the ribbon in between here. So I just started on this second one up, and let's see, how did I do that? I came in here and just wove this in, came down through here, up, down, up, and then down. And then I adhered that on the back of the card, of the cardstock, like so. Okay, but that's after I had embossed the whole piece. So you'll be able to see the embossing lines behind here. Hopefully you can see that on here. Sometimes my camera does not focus very well, but I think you can see the dimension, and of course if you come to class you'll be able to see the dimension in that. I don't know, I just think it's stunning how that all works together, and alcohol did most of it, the embossing folder did the rest of it. So let's go back and see what our piece looks like. All right, that's very bright. That's going to give us a really good look. I must not have used that bright of a green, but like I said, I think the colors didn't run as much because I didn't put the alcohol. I spritzed it a little bit more carefully. But you can see how it totally changed from the time you saw it last with the little circles of color, and the color started to run together. Anyways, isn't that fun? I just love playing with the blends and alcohol. All right, I am going to stop there. I think I showed all three projects. I'm going to just check really quick with your questions to make sure that I answered everything. Does anybody else have any questions? Yep, an eyedropper would be fine, but fingers work great too. I do have eyedroppers. But that's just another thing to remember, right? You guys that were here early know that how many things I forgot. So, all right. All right, guys. So, just in case, I noticed that some of the problems people were having. Oh, and I did try to put alcohol in my aqua painter, my old one, and when I was doing the pastels, I believe it was, and I don't know if I had trouble with it or not. It wasn't working, and it might have just have been the old aqua painter wasn't working. But I decided not to put it in here and just to dip it. So when you saw me, I was just dipping it in the alcohol and spritzing it with what was on the brush, not by squeezing. This is actually water that's in here. Just, I'm sure some people leave the alcohol in here, and that's fine. I don't think it damages anything, but I'm not sure, and I just wasn't interested in trying that because I just was able to dip it in there and get it out. All right. So guys, thank you for joining me. I hope that you had a good time tonight. I hope that many of you will get to come to class. Don't forget that you need to RSVP. If you didn't, you got an email on, I think it came out on Sunday. So make sure you RSVP that you're coming. I'm also filling clubs, and that's 6 people agree to spend a minimum of $30 each month. One person each month gets to be the hostess. You get your classes for free, and it's just a win-win for everybody. It helps me to sort of know how many people to prepare for each month because it's very difficult, as some of you, as those who help me at least know, it's very difficult to get people RSVPing and letting me know that they're coming ahead of time, and I have to prep at least a week or 2 ahead of time. So but anyways, yes, so looking for 6 people to sign up for clubs, and yeah. All right, guys, that's everything. That's a wrap. Take care. God bless.